Welcome to R&R with T. Today we have Moni and Deshira.
Hey.
Hi.
How y'all doing today, ladies?
Amazing. How are you?
I am well. Thank you guys for being here today.
I
So
love that.
today's
One of my
topic
favorite subjects.
is mental health,
Uh-huh.
and is it downplayed in the Black community? Okay. Um I think one of the first things we're gonna start off with is what are some of like the barriers um that we face in the Black community when it comes to mental health, like, and how does it affect us in the Black community?
I'm going to say it's open communication without judgment is one of the barriers of mental health in the Black community is that we're not allowed to say I'm depressed without being frowned upon, or I'm dealing with this, or I'm dealing with that without being frowned upon. So I personally believe it's definitely open lines of communication and being able to talk to somebody that can help you get help or point you in the right direction of help.
I totally agree with that. Um, yeah, Moni.
Money speaks.
Well, I just wanted to say, because you said what prevents it, I think access to healthcare, socioeconomic status. Like I said, a lot of people don't even really have access to even get into a doctor's office, let alone get there and then be able to afford the copays and stuff like that. So I think that adds on to it. I think there's not as much access to it as people need,
Right.
It's
and so that prevents people from being able to get the help they need.
it's not only that, but like what I noticed like in my own experience, it's like we have been told like, okay, go get help, go get help, go get therapy. But it's like, okay, we go and get therapy or seek therapy, but the therapists that we are matched with or whatever, or that we're put with, aren't one from our background, okay? And two, 9 times out of 10, they've never experienced the things that we've experienced, you know what I'm saying? Or they've never gone through a lot of the shit that we went through. So they can't relate to me in no way, shape, or form. So how do I expect to be treated and to be understood by somebody who's never been there, done that, or can't relate?
You date
You feel what
around.
I'm
I
saying?
feel like I feel like finding a proper therapist is like finding a partner to be with in a relationship. You date around. I don't feel like I got it right with my therapist until my fourth therapist. And then I felt like, okay, I kind of got it right. This person that I could resonate with, I could talk with, I could be open with, I could be candid with, and I don't feel like they're, talking down on me or not really understanding where I'm coming from. So I feel like the short
Right.
answer to that is to date around. You're not gonna find your perfect match on the first go round, like many things in life. So keep looking. I think if you have a good support system, and I know a lot of us don't, have a strong
Excuse me.
support system, but keep going, keep pushing, keep looking. There is someone out there for everyone that can really relate to you. And that can help you out. And honestly, it's closed mouths don't get fed. If you don't advocate for yourself and say, I
Mm-hmm.
like, hey, Mr. Johnson, it was great speaking with you. However, do you know anyone else in your network that I can, meet with, because I feel like some of our ideas and morals don't align? And more than likely they will give you one of their friends to help. So
Right.
it's just advocating for yourself and keep pushing, and date around. Like, you don't have to be stuck. There's no contract binding you to a therapist.
Right. Facts. Facts.
Yes, I'm so glad you said that about the therapy because Some people will try it one time with that one therapist and be like, yeah, I don't like therapy. But like you said, you have to keep trying, keep dating around. And not even just that. I don't know about everybody else, but I've expressed that I have bipolar disorder and I can't just do therapy. I need medicine too. So sometimes you have to see a psychiatrist too.
Mm-hmm.
You have to see a psychiatrist and pair that with therapy. I wouldn't be able to just take medicine. I do still need therapy, but it is important to keep finding what works for you because I'm not gonna lie, I don't think most people are gonna find their therapist in the first two therapists probably.
Like from
I think you need to. She said date
like
around.
right, like for me, for instance, in 2021, I was diagnosed with manic mood disorders. Okay, basically, it's bipolar disorder. Long story short, manic mood disorders or bipolar disorder is a form of mental health that causes extreme mood swings that include emotional highs, which is the manic part, and then um on and off again lows, which is the depression part. I am on um prescribed medications. But I do not take my prescribed medications because I feel like they just make me very sleepy. So
And let me comment on that because I've dealt with bipolar disorder for many years. It's the same thing with a therapist. Do not give up after one medicine. It took me 5 different medicines to find what worked for me. I know it sounds insane, and on top of that, you have to give it at least 6 weeks before you really feel a change. It takes a
I
long time for it to
okay,
kick in, and a lot of
I
people
get that. I
don't know
get
that.
all of that. But let me finish. Um I am on medication. I tried the first one. The first medication that I was on, it was a night pill. The way my work schedule is, because y'all know I do home health. So my schedule is crazy. I don't have a set schedule. So I could one day work 8 in the morning to 5 in the afternoon, and the next day work 9 at night to 9 in the morning. So that night pill is to be taken only at night. When I take that pill at night, that mean I go night night. You understand what I'm saying? And when I go night night, I be out. I be like dead to the world. So it's like I can't take it when I'm leaving work because I have to drive. It makes you drowsy. I can't do anything. So I got off that medication out. They switched me to a different medication. That one I don't want to like it's just it's always something. So I self medicate. I self medicate. Um
That's okay too,
in a sense,
but you just have to be.
Mindful.
in a sense, I feel like that is what's best for me. That is what works for me. Um I've dealt with a lot of shit in life, like most people. We have gone through so many highs, so many lows. We've just dealt with a fucking pandemic, and you know, shit is just hard. Like life is hard right now. And for anybody dealing with mental health, um, I think it's a little harder because they're really at their lows. Like they're really in their lows. Like they're really dealing with the depression part and not the manic part. And it's like, how do we get help? How do we um uh how do we cope? How do we
I
cope
feel like
in this time?
I feel like coping, and this is a personal opinion, so I really don't expect many to agree with me. But I feel like coping is a cop out because when you're coping with the issue, you're you remedy the situation. You don't actually address it. You don't actually hone in on it. You don't actually try to make the situation better. You kind of just cope with it. So it's like, okay, X, Y, and Z is bothering me. Um, instead of me addressing what's bothering me and what's the root of that issue, I'm gonna just drink today. I'm gonna drink.
Mhm.
I'm gonna be cool.
Yep.
I'm not gonna even think about that. Okay, so the next day I wake up. All right, I got a little headache, so I'm not trying to drink today. But I still got this problem. I'm gonna just smoke. My friends say you smoke, you get high, you feel good, you don't think about nothing. And then it becomes a
Nothing.
pattern. And now you're 3 months, 9 months in, and realizing that a simple conversation, a simple dialect could have fixed your problem 9 months ago. Now you 9 months in and addicted to drinking every day to cope, or addicted to smoking every day to cope, or addicted to whatever your vice is. Sometimes addiction is not to, alcohol or drugs. Sometimes it's addicted to running, which is not a bad addiction, but it's a, you're used to being set in your ways. Um,
Hmm.
I feel like coping is kind of a cop out. Don't cope with it, talk about it, let it be known, feel out, figure out how you feel, seek help, seek a listening ear. If you don't want to go to a therapist, find you a strong-minded friend that's level-headed and that will listen to you and bounce ideas off. Moni is an amazing friend for that. Moni will tell you her belief, somebody else's belief, the belief she read on Google, the reviews on Yelp and TripAdvisor, and she'll be like, "But it's on you. Whatever you choose to do, you have to find
Right.
you a friend or find you a person that you're able to say what's going on, and they give you reasonable feedback that kind of open your
Hmm.
mind up, because how Moni might deal with something might not be how T deals with something, which is probably not how I would deal with something. But us three together in one conversation, it makes us all, sometimes we have conversations. We're like, you know what, girl, you not too bad. You actually right. You actually make sense. Like maybe I should think about that. So I don't feel
Right.
like anyone should cope. Talk about it. Let it out.
Yep.
And we'll see where we go from there.
Woo. That was deep.
I know that was my fault. I'm sorry, guys.
That was deep. That was deep, but that's some true shit though. Like I ooh, mm.
I don't know. I kind of disagree with the coping thing. I don't think it's a cop out, or I think it's just how some people are able to deal with things, because coping could be positive
It
stuff.
can.
It could be meditating.
Okay.
It could be giving yourself pep talks in the
Hmm.
mirror. But you're right. It is. I do feel like it's like a temporary thing. It's not. It's not something that's gonna help you long term.
Correct. I do feel like it is a temporary fix. Talking to my friends is a temporary fix to me. It fixed all my problems. I could call them on the worst day and I'm not anxious no more. I've called T before job interviews and talked to her all the way till I get to the place. I'm the interview at 9. It's 8:59 and 55 milliseconds and I'm still on the phone with her. And then it's like as soon as I hang up that call, I'm just like, dang, I gotta interview, I gotta talk to these people. And that anxiousness comes back. So it's like, I feel like that's how it is with coping. You meditate, you run, you work out, but too much of anything is bad for you. I strongly believe that. Too much of anything can hurt you. Too much of a person, too much of a drink, too much. Too much of an exercise, too much of anything can wear you out in different places. It doesn't have to be for the negative. You could work out every day and then lose so much weight that your doctor like, ma'am, please, a burger.
Right.
So it just depends. But coping is fine for the moment to get through the day, but let's not forget to deal with the problem.
Yeah, I'm one of those who don't deal with the. Okay, so it depends on the situation. I'm gonna say that it depends on the situation, and most of the time, in most situations, I won't deal with the problem. I just let it linger and let it fester and let it fester and let it fester until one of these days I'm gonna really explode. But I don't feel like I'm gonna explode in a I'm not gonna say a bad way, but I'm not gonna say in a good way, right? I feel like I'm gonna explode in a very emotional way. You know what I'm saying? And it's not gonna be a good emotional way. It's gonna be a bad emotional way, and it's not good for my mental health. Like, I know that the shit that I've been through over this past year, is not um it hasn't been very healthy. Um but it hasn't been bad. You know what I'm saying? And it sucks. Like, it really sucks that I'm almost to that emotional breakdown. Like, almost to a complete emotional and mental breakdown.
What do you feel like, because we're talking about the barriers and things that's stopping you from getting hope and standing on it? What do you believe is stopping you from seeking the help that you need, as far as like your mental health and becoming more stable minded in these situations?
I really don't know. I think it's just me being set in my ways, because I feel like I'm not gonna say I feel like I know what's wrong with me. I know that I don't have the tools to work through that shit on my own, but I feel like I can deal with it because I've been dealing with it, just dealing with it. Not
Do you feel like you're dealing with it or coping with it?
I don't think I honestly, I don't feel like I'm dealing with it or coping with it. It's just there in the fucking atmosphere. It's just there.
Do you think it plays a part in your everyday life? Like
Absolutely.
just like going to work and like interactions.
Absolutely.
I know like sometimes being with family it gets hard because you're just like, back in 2002, you told me my hair was ugly. I'm not a fan. Like, do you feel like it affects you in that way?
I mean, more than likely.
I want to add something on that because I feel like it all, like all of it is affected. It like racism affects us. Like, let's be honest, because number one, we have higher poverty rates. That shit makes a bitch sad. Um, we're more likely to be incarcerated, and that make a bitch sad and depressed. I mean, like we come from ancestors. Remember, I brought up like um, the fact that trauma can be passed down from generation to generation. I mean, that adds on to things, and I think because of the reduced access to like good quality healthcare, it's like it adds on to that too. It's just like you have to do, and then COVID. I feel like we can really relate to that. I feel like COVID really brought out a lot of mental health like crisis because it's like you're isolated. Number one, you're not able to see your family. You're barely able to go outside. Some people lost their jobs. Some people was laid off. Some people was on like unemployment and stuff like that. And that can add to things. And I think that that really pushed people being like, you know what, something might be going on with me.
Mhm.
And honestly, it's just like, you know me, I'll stand in it when it comes to like capitalism and how I'm against all of that stuff. It's just like most people cannot afford just to live. Like I feel like at the minimum, people should be able to work 40 hours. I think 40 hours is too much, but I feel like people should be able to work the 40 hours a week and be able to pay their bills and feed their families. And a lot of people can't.
Right.
So that shit makes people
It
sad.
does.
And you already don't have access to therapy and all of that stuff. So you just deal with
Right.
it.
Right.
It does. I feel like, as a community, we have to stand together and fight for some of that stuff back. Like a lot of us, when it comes to voting, they're like, I'm not gonna vote. It don't affect me no way, but it's a domino effect. Um, I just feel like you have to talk about it and rally together. Like everybody say, like the biggest, joke is slavery can't happen with 2023 because we gonna all stand together and we gonna jump them. Sometimes
It's still we're still
you have
slaves
to
though.
be
We're
that
just
way
not
about.
physically
I get
slaves.
that,
We're
but I'm
mentally
saying you have
slaves.
to stand together and fight for what's important. If healthcare isn't important, we have to stand together as a community and fight for that. Fight for better healthcare, advocate
I
for better
mean,
healthcare.
but why can't healthcare be free? Shit. Why can't we
It's
have
free in
free
Canada.
healthcare?
Okay, but I'm gonna give this to you too. Even if let's just say we did get extra access to healthcare,
Mm-hmm.
we still haven't addressed the fact that the quality of care that we get when we do go get healthcare.
Right. Right.
How many how many black people have to advocate for themselves for little simple things? Pregnancy. How many black women have to advocate for themselves or choose to go with black OBGYNs because it's insane, but we don't receive the same type of quality healthcare, and we could have the same type of insurance, and we're not going to be treated the same. So it's like even if that was available, I feel like there's so much mistrust that a lot of people wouldn't do it anyways.
I could get where you're
That's
coming
true.
from.
I
I
mean,
could get where you're
totally
coming
get it.
from.
All right, so we're moving on from that. So I guess we don't even have. I guess I don't even have to ask. Why do y'all feel like, or why is therapy frowned upon, or why do we feel like therapy is frowned upon in the black community?
I
We all
People
know.
look at it as a weakness.
Yeah, people
I feel
don't
like a
want to
lot
look
of people
that
look at
way.
it as a weakness.
No one wants to
Mhm.
look like. I feel like in our community,
Yes.
Oh yes, damn it, she was going in. Social media. You know, I'm gonna find the stats, but social media actually contributes to poor mental health, contributes to people being depressed, contributes to people having social anxiety and stuff like that. And I think there's a reason behind that because number one, most people do not post the bad stuff. I mean, let's be real.
Right.
Most people don't. They're only gonna post the good stuff,
Mm.
and then you're constantly I had to get off of. I'm gonna be real with y'all. A couple years ago, I just made my Facebook this year because many years ago, Facebook made me depressed. It made me feel like I wasn't where I wanted to be in life.
right?
That everybody was exceeding more than me. People were getting married, and
Hmm.
people were having all these buying houses and new cars and doing all of these great wonderful things. And I'm just looking at myself like,
What am I doing
what am I
wrong?
doing in my life?
Yeah,
I had to delete my Facebook. I had to get rid of that because at the end of the day, they're not posting the bad stuff. They're not posting that they got the eviction notice on their door
they
and they're
not.
days away from being.
They not.
They're not posting that. But I don't know that. I didn't know that then. And at a young age, I was like, I need to unplug. I'm sad. I'm literally waking up, looking on Facebook and seeing how everybody's doing better than me. I
Yep.
had to get away from it. Instagram too.
Oh yeah. It's all social media. Social media is social media. Like that's where most people, like you said, a lot of people do get their freaking.
If you are seeing this blooper, it is because we are having technical difficulties. Okay, it's not working with us. We keep getting cut off. I keep getting kicked out. T keep getting kicked out.
We're
So
pulling it together.
we are getting it together.
We're getting
actual
it together.
show with all three of us together in one space on one couch talking about it is coming soon. But we are having technical difficulties. So bear with us. We love y'all though. The big one. We coming big. We going big or
We're gonna
going
have the
home with the
big boom,
podcast.
big boom microphone.
So we love y'all though. If you made it this far in the video, hit that like, comment, subscribe, share, all that down below. It is coming. We
And it kicked her again. And it kicked her again. But I mean, as she said, technical
thank
difficulties.
you.
But in the meantime, let me just throw this in there for you or anybody you know and love. If y'all are dealing with any mental health issues, dealing with any crisis, or just need somebody to talk to in general, there is a number, a toll-free number that is available 24 hours, 7 days a week. Okay, that number is 1-800-273-8255. Again, that number is 1-800-273-8255. Or you can text.
We should call them together. Well, while we're here and we're talking about places to call, you guys can go to www.betterhealth, health or help, help.com.
Help.
I had an amazing experience on there. I had needed like a quick little 1-2, 1-2. I was out, I was about, I was having an anxiety attack, a little mental breakdown. My therapist decided to live her best life out of town, and I need somebody to come fill that void. I need someone to talk to. So I don't recommend BetterHelp for like everyday experiences. I do personally like to physically sit in the office with someone and talk. But if you just need a little 1-2, 1-2 to just get you through, BetterHelp got your back. Really? I like to I like to lay back on the chair and kick my feet up and lean back and tell them about my problems. I'd be like, so work was work. They didn't give me a raise today. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a sucker for in person therapy. I feel like you get to feel that person's connection. One thing about virtual is, most people got 2 3 screens nowadays because work from home and stuff. So I feel
Mm-hmm.
like they be hearing me, but they be on their
Yeah.
other screen, they be
Yeah.
replying back to emails, and I'm like, I didn't even say nothing for you to take a note on, ma'am. So focus on me, baby. Can you focus on me? So in person it is for me. I don't
In
I don't
person.
even know where we were at, honestly, guys. Get help. Right, right. If walking on the beach singing is therapy to your soul, do it.
Yes, yes, yes. If rolling up smoking you a blunt is therapy. Roll up. Roll up.
That's coping.
Okay, and FYI for all the people in the background, I do want to make this. Here you go. Here you go.
So yes, so
Here we go again. Here we go again. Try this again. We need IT real bad. Cause what is going on? 650 an hour. Miracle. Yes, Lord. Yes. hmm Yeah. Right. So it's just it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. Like so what so how can we help one another? Like how can we help one another as a whole, as a community? Well, we're talking about mental health now. We're not talking about all the other woes of the world. We're talking about mental health. How can we help one another? Huh? This shit is bananas. BANANA. Yes, this shit is bananas. BANANA. Yes, this shit is bananas. BANANA.
I'm gonna need y'all to get it.
Like this
All right,
is
y'all.
crazy. I'm.
We got about 40 minutes of content so far, it feels
I
like.
mean, it
We might just have to
is.
chop and screw that
It's
shit and put
definitely
it
gonna
together.
be chopped and chopped and chopped and screwed.
For real.
I mean, but I have really enjoyed the time, like the conversation, all that. Like everything has been so good, so positive. Even though it's been,
Nah, for real.
I feel like
We're gonna have it together next time. We need to find another platform. I'm gonna do some research.
this this, this
This shit is. I've been fat so long, it feels weird to feel my collarbone. I said I've been fat for so long, it feels weird to be able to feel my
that's a
collarbone.
mental health issue. I just body,
Die with
you know,
it. Just
yeah, that's
yeah, body dysmorphia. No, I don't know. I do got body dysmorphia because when I was fatter, I thought I was a bad bitch and I wasn't. I used to wear tight ass shorts, pants.
hey, listen, and
But you
we,
know what though?
hey, and listen, y'all, everybody out here, everybody who's listening, we are single.
Out here hanging with my wretched ass friends. Yeah, seriously. Don't be embarrassed. Yeah.
That you can relate to.
But you know what, too, y'all? I feel like our generation deals with shit in memes. Because when you said something about being depressed, I immediately thought about the meme when it's like when you tell your mama you depressed and she tell you to go depress them dishes. Like I'm laughing at it, but that's sad. No, I share so many. I share too many sometimes because it's like I sent my friend one the other day and it was like when you're in the shower and it's like I had a great day today and then it's like a second later it's like I hate my life. Why do I exist? Like why does my brain work like that?
Hey, I
But
can
see, I know
relate.
I have a chemical imbalance.
And
I'm so bad at
boom.
that iPad. As soon as she start to it cuts her.
I know it's so aggy.